Hello and welcome to this wonderful video where I'm going to explain to you, members of the Facebook group I made this for, mainly how to view the eclipse safely. The first thing I want to acknowledge is, can you view the eclipse? Well, if you live in North America, you can view the eclipse. If you live in northern Mexico, you can view the eclipse. And of course, Canada is involved in this as well. Can you view the eclipse safely? There are many ways to view the eclipse safely, but you cannot view it just with your eyes, nor sunglasses. Those will not work. That's the key thing I want to first tell you. That's not going to work. Now, there's a few ways you can go about making a way to view the eclipse safely. One of them would be a shoebox viewer. Shoebox viewer is where you're going to take a shoebox, you're going to cut a hole on the long side of the box about a few inches wide, but that's not wide, at one end. Then at the opposite end of the box, on the short side, you're going to cut another hole, and you're going to put some tin foil over it. And then you're going to take a little toothpick and poke a little hole in that. Then you're going to need to align yourself opposite of the sun, and you will have a safe way to view the eclipse. Another cheap way is to make one of these. This is a pinhole viewer. What you do is you take two pieces of paper, 4 toothpicks, and the 4 toothpicks are there to stabilize this, by the way. Then at the center of the paper, you're going to poke a hole. And then on eclipse day, separate it out. I don't know if the hole's going to show up. You see that little hole? So then you view it on the bottom page. Now, most of that is not necessarily the best way to view the eclipse, definitely. What is the best way to view the eclipse? Well, you're going to need to spend a little money for that, because prices are going up, and they're going up fast. So get these now while you can. Eclipse glasses. Eclipse glasses are going to be the best way to view the eclipse, because they have enough solar filtering in them that common sunglasses do not have. That's the big difference, is that they have that, which allows them to be safely viewing for the sun directly. Make sure you do get, because there's 2 types of solar glasses. Ones that are for solar viewing and ones for direct solar viewing. Make sure you get the ones for direct solar viewing, especially if you're going to be switching between that and a telescope to see things like the shadow bands, which I will get into briefly. For those of you wondering again, yes, you will be able to see the eclipse. Let's go to the big screen. Small screen. Anywhere within this here, that's much better. Anywhere within the colored area, so all of Mexico, some of South America, most of Canada, even Alaska, is going to be able to view this eclipse. But it's not going to be a total eclipse for everyone. Where is it going to be a total eclipse? See this red line here? This red line is the chief place where you're going to want to be. And you're going to want to be as close to the center of this line as possible, because that is where it's going to be peak eclipse. That's where it's going to be completely covered, and depending on where you are, up to 2 full minutes, you're going to be able to directly look at the sun, which is going to be awesome. But you're asking me now, what time will it start? Well, that's going to be different for everyone because of the fact that it's going to be the moon going across the entire continental U.S. So let's go to this one. Yeah, this is it. So if you're on the West Coast, you're going to need to wake up early, because it's going to start at around 10:15. But if you're on the East Coast, you're going to get to have some coffee and stuff beforehand, because it's supposed to start around 12:15. This is the times for when it's max eclipse. I know that. because I've been looking at this. So a max eclipse occurs usually an hour after it starts. So if you're on the West Coast, it will start for you at around 9:15, peak being at 10:15. If you're on the East Coast, around 3 o'clock, but you're going to want to be out there at around 1 o'clock because that's when it's going to be wrapping up. Seriously, man, this is going to be one pretty big event. Uh, you are definitely going to want to also make sure you have, and this is only for the people who are lucky enough to be in the band. Make sure you have a white sheet, like not just this, like a big white sheet. Put it on the ground, and 30 seconds before max coverage, when the sun is still peeking out from the moon, look on that because you might get to see shadow bands. What shadow bands are is serpentine or snake-like shadows that occur just before max eclipse, and it looks like they're all crawling and everything, and nobody knows how they work just yet. The main theory is a difference in atmospheric temperature due to the fact that there's a large object blocking the atmosphere, causing it to be less heated than atmosphere feet away from it. But again, nobody knows for sure. We probably will find out during this eclipse. Uh, but yeah, definitely look out for that. Anyone of a secret biscuit cult or the bomb shelter, the Facebook groups I made this for, have any questions, please feel free to send them to me. Call me Mr. Eclipse, because I'll be happy to provide any answers you have. Anyways, let's go back to, I don't know, something else.